Hey guys, before today's episode of the podcast, I want you to do me a favor by hitting that follow button in front of you to follow my podcast. I upload weekly. Currently aiming to maybe put out 2 episodes a week, but until then, it's a new episode every Sunday, 1 p.m. here in Vancouver, which is 8 p.m. GMT, if you know what that means. Make sure you're following Gentleman Pursuits on every social media as well. If you don't, you're missing out. Once again, it's Gentleman Pursuits. Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Gentleman Pursuits podcast. This will be the 4th episode. Hope everyone had a great week. This week for me is same old, just a lot of work. Barely had any time to rest, to be honest. However, I did squeeze in enough time to do what I love to do, which is writing for my website and doing podcasts for you guys. This segues into today's topic, NOMOS Glashutte. Okay, I've been wanting to talk about this brand for quite some time now. Reasons being, I've got a confession to make, guys. I think I'm in love. Yes, her name's NOMOS Glashutte. And in this episode, I would love to talk about my love, its background history, and some of my favorite pieces from them. And perhaps after this episode, you would learn more about this brand. So first off, NOMOS is an independent German watchmaker based in Glashutte, Saxony, Germany. Now this is where A. Lange & Söhne was based as well. And back then when NOMOS first started, Glashutte watchmaking was going through a renaissance period. While A. Lange & Söhne has the highest revenue among the Glashutte manufacturers, NOMOS delivers the most watches. NOMOS was founded in January 1990, just 2 months after the fall of the Berlin Wall. It was founded at the same time as the modern A. Lange & Söhne. By modern, I mean after A. Lange & Söhne has been released from nationalization. And NOMOS had a goal when they first started. The goal was to bring back Bauhaus design and wanted to bring it back properly, which they did. At that time, while A. Lange & Söhne and Glashutte original, two brands, some big brands has been bought out by some big companies, NOMOS remains independent. They want to strive on their own, and ultimately they were able to earn the coveted Glashutte title. So let me remind you this: to earn the Glashutte standard, you must produce up to 50% of the calibers locally. And NOMOS, being NOMOS, they want to be special, right? Decided to one up everyone else and bring that number to 95%. NOMOS launched its first collection in 1991, featuring the Orion, Tetra, and Tangente. Minimalist Bauhaus design and are designed for both sexes, with the dial sitting at the 35mm sweet spot. I love it. I have skinny wrist, and most watches nowadays are a little bit too big for me, including the lugs, of course. So in this series, the Tangente was leading the success of the collection, being heavily inspired by the first Bauhaus watches of the 1930s. I mean, come on. Okay, go on to Google right now and search Stowa Antea, Stowa Antea. Click on image and look at it. Do you see the resemblance? The Tangente is a dead ringer for this watch in front of you right now. And let me remind you this: the Stowa Antea can be dated back to the 30s, just like I said just now. See, guys, vintage sales. So it is clear to us what kind of watches NOMOS produces, and it is clear to us that their watches are really crowd-pleasing. But there's more. There are always more. Remember when I said NOMOS went 95% with producing movements locally? In 2005, NOMOS released its first watch with an in-house movement, the Tangomat. At the same time, the Tangente manual movement was also converted to an in-house movement. This is where it starts. This is where the in-house, going full in-house starts. From NOMOS 1T to NOMOS 1TSP, featuring Glashutte style 3/4 plates. These are all just stepping stones to NOMOS joining the ranks of genuine Glashutte manufacturers. In 2013, NOMOS introduced a new line of calibers called the DUW. Full names in German, which unfortunately I'm not able to pronounce it properly. My bad, guys. So the DUWs. I will get into more details later on. And a year later, in Baselworld 2014, NOMOS released the watch NOMOS Metro and announced that it had developed a completely in-house escapement, which is called the NOMOS Swing System. So in 2 years, in 2 years' time, NOMOS was able to develop a new movement called the DUW, a new line of calibers actually, and a fully in-house movement called the NOMOS Swing System. This is some impressive work. And according to various sources, the NOMOS Swing System is so complicated that only a few watchmakers at NOMOS can execute the production process to perfection. And side note, I think that the NOMOS Metro is absolutely amazing. This watch is one of 2 of my favorites from NOMOS. I mean, first of all, the Metro looks both futuristic and vintage at the same time. It has the classic Bauhaus design look to it, but the colors, the pop of blue and orange on the dial, just give it a little futuristic twist to it. Right? That's why I love it, because it's so special. It's not overdone with trying to make it flashy, but at the same time the design stands out from the crowd. However, there's another watch that I think it's the quintessential NOMOS, the NOMOS Lambda. I recently published a review on this watch on the website Gentleman Pursuits, but I don't care. I will talk about it again. The NOMOS Lambda is one extraordinary watch, a watch that can basically go head to head with a Lange & Söhne. Aside from the crazily beautiful design, the DUW 1001 movement is the real highlight here. Okay, I said I will get back to DUW, right? Here it is in the great NOMOS Lambda. The caliber consists of a striped 3/4 plate, a swan neck regulator, and an engraved balance cock, which on it you can see written in German saying "produced with love in Glashutte." I mean, how epic can this watch get? Nice, good looking, crazy complicated escapement, and on the balance cock there's a secret message if you turn a watch around and appreciate the watch in a different angle, in a different perspective. You get a little love note from NOMOS saying "produced with love in Glashutte." The NOMOS Lambda has certainly achieved what it set out to achieve, and I think every NOMOS watches has certainly achieved what it set out to achieve, showcasing true German watchmaking. And in my opinion, the Lambda is showing the world what watchmaking is all about. It's about chasing perfection and striving for greatness. And I think NOMOS, as a watch company, is also trying to improve themselves day by day. And I'm sure that in the future, NOMOS will keep releasing watches that blow us away and catch us off guard just by how amazing their watches are. And this is why I fell in love with NOMOS. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to the latest episode of the podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe or follow button in front of you. I'm not sure if you're listening this on Spotify or Anchor, but either way, make sure you're following me on every social media platform, on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Anchor, Spotify, everything. Just make sure you're following me. You'll get the latest news on articles, uploads, new podcasts, new news, all kind of posts on watches and whiskeys. If you're not, you're missing out. So yeah, make sure you're following us. And until next Sunday, have a great week, guys. Stay safe. I'll see you guys.